Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you how to paint grapes today. This is a very easy subject to paint. You need 3 shades of green and a highlight. It's so easy, anyone can do it. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. That helps my channel grow and I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching my videos. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to help you. Thanks for watching. I'm using acrylic paints and my colors are titanium white, cadmium yellow light, raw sienna, raw umber, French ultramarine blue, sap green and alizarin crimson. I usually paint in one messy puddle on my palette. For this project you could mix up your greens on a separate palette. You need a mid-tone, the basic color, a highlight, a paler version mixed with yellow and titanium white, and a shadow color, which could be sap green straight from the tube, or you could mix it with French ultramarine blue if you need something much darker. As I have in this case, I've painted my canvas panel with acrylic paint in blue. And I've transferred my sketch onto the canvas and I'm painting with sap green mixed with a little primary yellow, and it's very transparent. I haven't added any titanium white to it, so you can see my sketch through this paint, and I'm just sort of painting in the background, trying to be reasonably careful that I don't get paint on my sketch, but it doesn't really matter if I do because I can see through it. I'm thinking of these grapes as hanging from the vine, and I want the background to be just a sort of glowing sunny green without any blue sky or anything else to distract from the grapes. It's just the background, it's not that important, but I want to give the illusion that you're looking at grapes hanging on the vine. I'm going to paint some of these grapes a dark purple because I want to show you that this method of using a mid-tone, a highlight and a shadow can work with any kind of berry or grape, and it's very simple to use these 3 shades and get that roundness. Sorry, that's a bird outside making that noise. So you can get a sort of roundness in the grape to show its roundness rather. The other thing that's quite important in grapes especially is the brush stroke. I'm using a flat because I like to paint with flats, and I wind my brush around the curve of the grape. That leaves a brush stroke that enhances the roundness of the grape. I've mixed in titanium white with the green to give me a highlight on the side the light is coming from. It's coming from the right hand side, and so that side will be brighter. It's not the highlight, which will be titanium white, but it's the sunny side of the grape, let's put it that way. Chris is here for a visit. She doesn't stay long. I don't like to discourage her too much because she is a stray that I took in, and I like to encourage her to be friendly with me. I've had her, well, a couple of years now, I suppose, but I think it takes cats quite a long time to feel comfortable and feel at home. And it's just this year that she started joining me in my paintings. You'll note that I didn't put light on every single grape. Those that I thought were more in the shadow, I left that mid-tone. And I'm using a dry brush, another flat brush, because that's what I seem to pick up, to blend in the highlight with the shadow side, to make it smooth. Grapes are fairly smooth. There is a brush stroke on there to show the roundness, but you don't want any hard lines. Sorry about her tail. When I paint leaves, I always stroke in the colour from the outside edge of the leaf in toward the centre, and 99% of the time I use a flat brush for leaves because I like the effect that gives me. I know some people use rounds for that. I don't. I start at the very tip and pull it in towards that centre vein that runs down, and I do put the veins in, but I paint over them somewhat too, so that at the end, when you look at a leaf that I've painted, you sort of don't see the veins in the leaf, but it does give some sort of definition. It's hard to explain, but you'll see. Just as with the grapes, or anything else I paint for that matter, I start with the mid-tone and then I add the highlights and the shadows. That gives whatever I'm painting its definition. I'm using this rigger or liner brush, which I've dipped in water first, and I'm going to use raw sienna and use that to create the branch, I guess, the stem and the veins of the leaves. And I'll add other colours to that. I'll add a highlight using primary yellow, and I'll probably, almost certainly, use alizarin crimson and possibly raw umber to give me a shadow side. And I like to use the alizarin because it adds a brightness and a sort of liveliness. I'm always using that word, but it does add a liveliness to the painting if you can get in some alizarin crimson in there. It's my favorite color. I'm sure other people have other colors they like that are their favorite to use, like maybe an orange. Actually, I might try an orange sometime. It's very hard to paint these fine veins in the leaves, and I don't mind that they're a little clumsy because I'll go over them with highlights and shadows, and only a very tiny amount of the leaf veins will show in the final painting. I've decided that I want to make the shadow side of the grapes a little darker. So I've mixed some French ultramarine blue in with the sap to give it a darkness. Raw amber works well for that too. You can vary it and see which you like best. Just remember to stroke that brush around the curve of the grape and keep that roundness. That's really important when you're painting a berry or a grape, or any other fruit for that matter. As the paint dries, it dulls down a little bit, so I quite often reinforce my highlights again, maybe 2 or 3 times. I make my leaves, grape leaves, a little rough. They're a little bit like a maple leaf to my mind. They have sort of 5 lobes on them. And I'm not too particular about the leaves. I feel the grapes are the star of the show, and as long as you've got a few pointy bits in there, it sort of gives you the impression of grape leaves, and nobody's looking at those in any case. It's important to blend out any hard lines, especially when you're working on something that has a smooth skin like a grape, or if you were, say, working on peaches or apples or whatever. You need to keep those lines blended. I took a break and let things dry, and I wanted to see if my light side was light enough for me to put my highlight on, and it is. I'm using straight titanium white for this, and I'm just going to put a tiny dab on each of the lit grapes, not the ones in shadow, and that will be enough to make them look glossy. This highlight looks very bright at the moment, but as it dries down, it will dim a little bit and it'll look more realistic. I'm going to add the alizarin to the stem, and you'll see it'll brighten it up no end. I think it enhances the painting. In my opinion, I use it on tree trunks, especially when I'm painting roses, because you often see red when you look at a rose stem, or even the veins in the leaf of a rose will have some red in it. I'm mixing primary yellow with raw sienna and some titanium white, and that will give me a very bright colour to use as a highlight on the stems. I'm going to use the exact same technique on the purple grapes that I used on the green grapes, with a mid-tone, a highlight and a shadow, and I'll remember to blend between those different shades just to keep that smooth roundness of the grape. I know you can't see much but the back of my hand in this section. I don't know what happened, but I'm using a round to try and get the pointy bits on my leaves. The grape leaf has sort of 5 different lobes, each ending in a point, and I'm not that picky about how they look, but I like them to sort of seem almost like the right leaf to go with the plant, if that makes any sense. I think that my stems need more shadow, so I'm adding raw umber to the darkest areas, the place where the light isn't hitting, and underneath the vine. I have a lot of space at the bottom of the painting, so I'm going to put in some odd leaves and maybe a couple of grapes, just to just to fill in the empty space. I don't like to see too much empty space on the painting. I'm not going to make anything very definite, just a suggestion of grapes and leaves, because they are not the star of the show. Well, that's it really. It was so easy to do. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please like, share and subscribe, and that helps my channel grow. I'd very much appreciate it if you could find time to do that, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.